Yo guys, today we're going to watch a video from SUPAH called Why Cool and Fun Operators Tend to Suck. Like some of the operators, I do notice how cool their kit is, but sometimes they are not that powerful. Well, obviously this is when I guess Sakiko was out in China, I think, because I think Sakiko was out in January for us for global. So, or not January, I actually don't know. But yeah, let's watch this video and see what it is all about.
By you. Links for the channel are in the description along with the Discord. Hello there, ARKNIGHTS most hated YouTuber here, once again hitting you over the head with a bedtime story.
Bedtime story.
Picture the following scenario. You are a slightly smarter player than you are right now, and you are enjoying using all the classics. The ARKNIGHTS greatest hits. Eblan, Stainless ARKNIGHTS, Ebenhots, that the Siege Alter, and Chinchilla, and finally, Yuri Queen Saki-chan and her Chinchilla ARKNIGHTS, the ARKNIGHTS greatest hits. Eblana,
Stainless. I don't know what Stainless actually do actually.
Stainless
Is that robot his, I guess?
ARKNIGHTS, Ebenhots.
Ebenholz. Is Ebenholz still the best Mystic caster? Or the new Mystic caster is going to be better? I actually don't know.
That the Siege Alter.
Nice. Oh, Siege Alter.
And Chinchilla and
A Chinchilla. What the hell? Who's a Chinchilla?
Ebenhots that the Siege Alter and Chinchilla.
Which one is a Chinchilla actually? Oh, okay. Now I know.
And finally, Yuri Queen Saki-chan and her army of 5 stars, whose sole purpose for existing is expanding her range and nothing else.
Damn, that kinda sucks.
These operators all have unique fun mechanics that make their kit stand out and give new layers to their gameplay, which are actually very fun to engage with, be it Eblanana's Star Platinum and Television's Skill 2 mechanics, Stainless ARKNIGHTS turrets, and so on. However, you may notice with your big wet eyes, these operators are often not the first suggestion when it comes to role recommendations, or the second, or the third for that matter, or in Ebenhost's case, perhaps not even the 54th.
Yeah.
This, aside from 2 exceptions we will discuss later, is a pattern in ARKNIGHTS. Operators with unique gimmicks and fun layers to their gameplay tend to be a cut below those considered meta. It is not a coincidence. And before you say it, no, it's not because the EN players are lazy. I hear that way too much. There's actual reasons for it. I also wanted to specify this video is not just bashing these operators or saying this is a problem that needs to be fixed. Refer to this video. The
That was long before.
fact these unique, fun but subpar operators exist is part of why ARKNIGHTS is such a good game. These operators should exist in their current states. I would
Evelyn is such a cool operator. Like, I really want her.
not change anything about them. I just aim to have a game design discussion here to merely explain the why of this phenomenon. So, what is ARKNIGHTS about?
Okay, well, we're going there first, okay.
I don't mean the story. We all know that it's just a cycle of suffering over and over with some lesbians thrown in.
Oh,
I mean
that was Act 1, not Act 2, I think.
the gameplay. What is the gameplay of ARKNIGHTS about? And I mean that in its absolute most bare-bone fundamentals. Excluding modes like Reclamation Algorithm or Footy, At its root, independently of any event mechanic or enemy gimmick, ARKNIGHTS is about not letting the bad guys trademark enter the blue box trademark. At its most fundamental core, this is what all of ARKNIGHTS ultimately comes down to. And there is only a finite number of ways you can achieve that. You can outright
Fully remove them from the stage.
You can slow them, or you
Cancel the enemy subscription to reading.
can block them. Of course, there is also support roles, one being medics and buffers, keeping the other 3 roles alive or making them more effective, while the other is DP generation,
yeah.
getting the other 4 roles out on the field in the first place. Ultimately, even if there is 1 degree of separation, we always circle back to the one main purpose at the root of everything. Therefore, every single operator in the game contributes to this one purpose in one of the 5 ways established or more.
Okay.
This is why Eblananana and
Oh damn. So that's the name.
Telekia
Etelekia.
and many others fall short.
Why?
Because fundamentally, they are doing the same thing as many other operators,
Okay.
with the exception that they have to play mini-games for it.
Mini-games,
No matter
right?
the gimmick, no matter the unique mechanic, they will all, without fail, end up in one or more of these 5
categories.
categories. Sure.
So I guess SUPAH is trying to say that, yeah, they are kind of unique, and but in the end they still fall into those 5 categories, and some characters just is better in doing in that category more than them. I guess that's what he's trying to say, I guess.
You could play Ebla Nana Nana minigames to get a mega powerful summon, but that achieves the same fundamental purpose as a lane holder with self-sustain. This is why Tilopsis is still the best SP battery in the game, for example. You put her down and now everyone charges 30% faster. Unlike Stainless, who needs his turrets, Mostima, who only does it for a certain class, and Liskarm,
Oh, only for a certain class. Oh, okay.
who needs enemies with high attack speed and low damage to really shine. It's Occam's razor. The
What the fuck?
best solution is often the one with the least assumptions, or rewarded for ARKNIGHTS, the best operators are those with the least
Yes, Razor. That's gonna cool the way he the way he reused the word well, differently. Or rebrand the word for to suit ARKNIGHTS. The best operator are those with the less steps within their deployment and what you wish for them to achieve.
steps
Okay.
between their deployment and what you wish for them to achieve. But why is that the case? Well, it's simply because the more steps you add to achieve something, the more that thing needs to be worth the effort. And when ultimately everyone falls into the same 5 categories, you will find that the least steps to get there, the better it will be. Because ultimately you are adding a bunch of steps to do the same thing that others do with less. Of course, this will not be true every time for every operator in every circumstance. Blanket statements are all false 99% of the time, but it is true for the vast majority of cases. And of course, the 5 roles I showed here are meant to be very general and broad. Sometimes you need something far more specific, which is where niches come into play. But ultimately, situations in which you need those niches says, are just situations with stricter
Stricter
requirements
requirements.
to achieve these same 5 things.
Oh,
So let's
yeah.
examine some meta operators to see if this Occam's razor adjacent rule is true. We have Ulpianus, who is just a huge ball of stats with a healing talent, Haruka, who makes everyone effectively immortal with sheer healing per second, and Sanctuary, or Monstre with her buffs, or Muinar, Lemwen, and Wishadel straight up dealing enough damage to destroy a small country. These are all the most direct destroy a small country.
I guess during that time, this is what I call, what is that good? What is that? Well, SUPAH thinks the strongest character during that time, I guess. We had Lemon and Melna. It's insane that Melna is still one of the best gods.
These are all the most direct and blunt.
I guess logos are not considered kind of sad.
Version of each gimmick that involves the least steps between deployment and vaporizing the enemy. This rule is true for every meta operator, with few exceptions. Keep that in mind, as we will discuss said exceptions later.
From what I see, the exception is Stragonia and SUCI Alter. And I guess their mechanic is so strong to the point that it's just, even with the niche, they able to, the niche was like, the damage is too strong, or they are doing their job are too strong, even with the unit mechanic, that it just doesn't matter.
Now that it is later, I believe there are only 2 exceptions in the entire game to this rule, those being Exia Alter and Tragodia, and it is curious to note they are both very recent units, as if Hypergriff just now figured out how to make cool and fun gimmicks actually meta. What they figured out is to make those cool and fun gimmicks actually unique, as in irreplaceable. And in all fairness, this is way harder than it sounds. There is a reason this was only achieved in the year 7.
Yeah, I feel like it's very hard to, I feel like for yeah, I do think that it's very hard to create a really interesting mechanic in gacha games, because at this point you need to scramble your brain so for any idea and somehow do not power creep the characters somehow in some sort of way. Like like you need to make a good character and interesting character while also not power creep them. But but as I say, and Dragodia kind of power creep though. They kind of power creep a lot of characters.
Especially when everything in the game ultimately comes down to the same 5 roles, it is hard to come up with something truly new. And really, even Exia and Tragodia still fall in those 5.
Tragodia is connect. Okay. Well, Tragodia there. Slow enemy.
There has a summon that redeploys ground operators, ignoring their redeployment timer, and this has more viable uses on its own than Texas has in her. And Exia is one of them.
Redeployment is kinda insane. But, well, for her case, she just needs to summon it, right? To do it. But for Cassia Alter, she needs the characters around them, and then she goes to somewhere and then redeploy them. In a way, it's the redeployment for Cassia Alter is kinda like, it is fun to see, but it also is a bit restrictive compared to other characters.
From respawning operators that died to repositioning operators instantly half across the map like a ender pearl, to using operators like Sutra and Nerl twice, to generating DP somehow.
Summoning operators through a center does not cost DP, that's insane. However, between those operators refunds a portion of the DP cost, so if you summon Pendants with it and retreat her, you can get more DP than you start. Wait, what? Really? That's interesting. Whoa. Interesting. So, okay, oh my. I didn't, that's an interesting synergy where when you put the character, there's no synergy, but then you retreat it, you gain a bit more DP. Damn.
With penance, and most importantly, getting to use skills twice in a row, as this redeployment gives back
Oh, that's so good. Oh my god, I really need to save for Mil now.
all the initial SP. Tragodia lets you toss a cat onto the field to manipulate enemy pathing and deal a bunch of damage too while he's at it, being easily the best crowd control
Yeah,
in the entire game,
best crowd control.
and finally dethroning that chameleon I hate. Enemy displacement is insanely powerful and something that
Why you hit the chameleon? Like, just because he's strong? Like, for Dragodia also strong, so why you don't hit him?
Hyperglyph
I
double
don't remember the explanation where people say he hit the chameleon, but jeez.
with Nymph skill 2 and Yu skill 2. Tragodia is just the definitive version of it, albeit not the most straightforward one. These operators have several steps between their deployment and what you want them to do, and yet Exialter literally rivals Wishadel on the tier lists, and Tragodia is right behind. So what is the difference between them and Ebla Nana Nana
Yeah, I want to know. What is the
and
difference?
telephone pole? Well, going back to what I said before, what Tragodia and Exialter do is worth the steps to get there, because there is no direct comparison, and
Oh, is it because the thing that they give is just way more different than the other characters, I guess.
because they are
Yeah,
extremely
it's a very
powerful,
it's a
and
very unique effect that no one can replicate. So in a way, because I guess because nothing can replicate it, you can say that they are way more better due to the unique mechanic they can do.
the truly unique effects, while Ebla Nana 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 and others are merely different. What I mean by that is that yes, they play differently, they have unique mechanics, but at the end of the day, they don't actually do anything new.
Their mechanic is unique, but it's just the same. It's just deal damage or give buff, right?
They are just different from the previous operators to be different.
Yes, no,
This is something that can be observed in other games too, like Plants vs Zombies 2. That hollowed out shell of a game. The prime example of this is Sakiko from the Ave Mujica collab. And I know this is risky ground to tread. The Saki-chan fans are whose favorite method of communication is hurling bricks through windows, but seriously read her kit. In order, she attacks continuously with offensive recharge, has a musical note mechanic, a fever mode mechanic which has a gauge of its own, a range extension mechanic with her lesbian polycule, skill activation mechanics like Leto, 2 modes on skill 2, piano and harp, an organ mode on skill 3. This bitch got different styles like Kazu
I don't realize how much her kid is. Holy.
Kiryu, smart targeting
Dude,
on her split damage, and finally an immortality mechanic, because of course she has one. That is 10 mechanics, gauges or modes, all crammed into one kit, that give several layers to her gameplay. And at the end of the day, she's still just a DPS that ignores enemy stats. Again, I want to specify, I'm not saying she's
yeah, she's not bad. She's one of the strongest DPS currently, right? I think.
And she's definitely better than Thorns, and good riddance. It's been 4 years by now.
Oh damn, I just realized damn, Tones have been not been popular for that long, huh?
What I am saying is that as good as she is, she's nothing new. The point here is that they stuffed her full of cool and unique mechanics, but in the end, the sum of all of them still ended up not being truly unique. And again, I am not necessarily saying this is a bad thing. For a lot of players, having all of these mechanics to play with and keep track of is what makes Arknights fun. It's engaging with the gameplay rather than just pressing a button and the game plays itself for you. So, while it is a game design truth that simpler operators tend to be better in the vast majority of cases,
I feel like Eblana's mechanic is so cool. I feel like when you kill a character, she just got a summon. Like she is literally Sung Jin Woo.
in the specific context of Arknights, these operators should exist as they contribute to why the game is so good. Arguably, despite not being meta, Sakiko is one of the best designed operators in the game. I'm still not gonna roll, but anyway, that's all. Max Origami, bye.
Damn, he's still not gonna roll for her? Interesting. Even though why? Because he just Super is so weak. I just don't understand him. I should not try to understand him, but oh man, if only I played earlier, then I probably would have gotten her or spent a lot of money to just get her. But yeah, it is what it is. Oh man, it's very unfortunate. Like if only I started sooner. I hope we got a new, and obviously impossible for it to even get a rerun compared to Siege or Monster Hunter collab. Well, I hope the My Little Pony collab is a true My Little Pony collab then. But yeah, great video I guess. He gonna explain why Isusei and Tragoda is just way different in terms of abilities or leaks better or leaks differently than Ablana, Etelekia and others. And obviously because their kit gives something new, yeah, the their kit just gives something new to, in the game, which is one to low or literally crowd control properly. I don't know if there's any other character that can properly crowd control like Tragodia, because the crowd control that he has is so different than other crowd control I've seen. I cannot really even give any examples of Tragodia's level of crowd control. And same with Azucii. But now Azucii does have something similar to Azucii now, which is, Kalsit. And Kalsit can redeploy a lot of characters, not just, and like she can even redeploy her Azucii again. So yeah, interesting. Like now Azucii niche is kinda got it's now being, not, I don't want to say it kinda got ruined, but it kinda makes Azucii not as special anymore. But Tragodia is still special. The amount of crowd control from the cat is just one of the broken things. Like bro, I feel like he kinda saved my account a lot. Well, Promise Alter and Zola kinda, well, I built Zola too much. So that's why Zola is too strong in my account. But Prom Alter did save my account, but I think the one that make my my games easier is obviously Tragodia. Tragodia just makes everything easy. But yeah, I think that's all from me. Thank you for watching. Please enjoy, please subscribe, and please share the video to see more of my content. And yeah, peace out.